and welcome to our information session for March 14th. It's so lovely to have you wherever you are, getting ready for dinner or just finishing work. So thanks so much for your time. We're just going to wait for a little bit until people pop in. Where's everyone tuning in from? So I'm from Sydney, cloudy Sydney. Where are you tuning in from? Just pop in the chat box there. And while you do that, just make sure you click on everyone when you do that. So let's see who's here. We've got some participants. Oh, we've got someone. Oh, Western Australia, Albany. Cool. Thanks, Simone. Just make sure, Simone, you just check to everyone. Thanks so much. Cool. Anyone else? Don't be shy. We're going to test out the live chat. We're going to be using it quite a bit today in the webinar. So we've got the Blue Mountains. Cool. Thanks, Saskia. We've got a few people here. And from Melbourne. Beautiful. Alrighty, guys. So let's make a start. My name's Charlotte. I'm one of the student enrollment advisors here in Sydney, Australia for ISCD. And I'd like to introduce you to a couple of people who will be joining me today. So firstly, Gabby, who's an education manager at ISCD. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, Charlotte. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Beautiful, thanks. And I'd like to introduce you to Lee as well, who's part of the ISCD team. She'll be answering questions in the live chat. Hello, Lee.
Hi. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Welcome, everyone.
Great. Do you want to do some housekeeping for us, Lee?
Yeah, I shall be brief. We very much invite all of you to put any questions that you have about our courses into the live chat. When we asking you to do that, please click on the chat button and not the Q&A button. Sometimes we get questions in the wrong section. So just make sure it's the chat, and also make sure where it says to at the bottom under like who can see your messages, click on everyone. And that means that everybody in the chat will be able to see whatever questions you ask, and then we won't have any doubling up. Our aim obviously is to get all of your burning questions answered within this session. So we're looking forward to seeing what pops up in there and looking forward to helping you out with knowing if this is the right course for you. That's pretty much it. I shall disappear, Charlotte, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll say goodbye to Gabby as well. We'll catch her in a little bit. So thanks both of you ladies. So first of all, in the spirit of reconciliation, ISCD acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respect to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. So in today's session, I will invite Gabby to talk about what interior design is, the types of roles you can get, what the difference between interior design and decoration is. Then she'll talk about how to find your own unique style, briefly explain the principles of interior design, and give an introduction into colour. After that, Gabby will show some examples of assessment projects that ISCD students have produced in the design and colour subject, which is the first subject in the course. Then I'll come back on to deep dive into our interior design courses, going through the software, our talented educators, and what kind of industry connections ISCD has. Feel free to ask any questions in the live chat, so just click on everyone and we'll take them at the end. So before I invite Gabby back on, I'd like to read her bio. Gabby's passion for design stemmed from working as a project manager in the retail design sector. She decided to pursue a career in interior design and completed a Diploma of Arts in Interior Design and Decoration. Since graduating, she has worked in many design disciplines, including retail design, shop fitting, kitchen and bathroom, lighting, and more recently, property styling. 9 years ago, she started her own property styling business, Freestyle Interiors, based on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula in Victoria. She's very honoured to share her knowledge and experience with students and watch as they grow into design professionals themselves. So let's welcome Gabby back on. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today, Gabby.
Thanks, Charlotte.
No worries.
Lovely.
I'll disappear now.
All right. Welcome, everybody. And yeah, today we're just going to do a run through of a few things that I thought you would be interested in. A little bit about the course, some of the work, and also just an overview of what is interior design. So let me start off with this particular slide here, explaining to you what interior design is. So it is the process where you are designing spaces that are both functional and aesthetically pleasing. Interior designers source and specify for clients such as things as colour, finishes such as flooring, window treatments, furniture and lighting. They also provide spatial planning solutions for residential and commercial spaces such as bars, restaurants, offices, aged care, retail, just to name a few. All right, so what are some of the areas that you might consider to work in? Well, these are just a small sample, but I've put here joinery design, and this is a large area that people go into. A lot of interior designers do joinery work, and that may be anything from designing kitchens and bathrooms, wardrobes, laundries, or anything that's custom built and bespoke in a property for a client, whether that be in a residential or commercial application. So there's quite a lot of work out there for designers in that discipline. Or you might decide you love colour. So you could be a colour designer where you'd specify colour solutions for residential or commercial projects. Our course is obviously based around a lot of different areas of interior design. Colour's a strong subject that we teach you in the first subject. So you'll learn a lot about colour. It's such a fascinating thing. Interior styling, so you might love styling, where you'll source, specify and purchase items such as furniture, lighting, artwork, rugs, accessories and things like that. Or property styling, which is what I've been doing for the nearly 10 years, where you might style homes for vendors that are selling to appeal to buyers whilst they're on the market. It might be styling to sell or styling to stay. So in terms of interior design elements and principles, I'm just going to take you through a few of those. So we teach those to students in the very beginning so that you understand how these work, because this is basically in a nutshell how one cannot work without the other. So design elements and principles are the foundation of creating harmonious spaces. When you walk into a room and it feels balanced and cohesive, that's because the elements and principles of interior design are working. There are 7 design elements and 7 design principles in interior design. It's these elements and principles that are the foundation of interiors. Elements are like the raw materials, and principles are the different formations and combinations of how these materials present themselves. So it can all look a little bit confusing and a bit, what are you talking about? But as you put them together and start to really study them, you'll see them everywhere you go in life. You'll just go, oh yes, that's this and this. Oh yeah, that works with that. And it's not just one goes with the other. There's multiple elements and principles that can combine. If you look at the texture and repetition square up the top where there's mushrooms, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's a picture of a mushroom up in the very right hand corner. The mushroom's texture is the natural element and the formation of repetition is the principle. So just to give you sort of a little bit of a explanation there. And then introducing you to colour. So colour is another one of those major elements of design. So it's, as we know, it's pretty subjective and expressive. It has the ability to impact our lives and designs in many capacities. The first thing that we teach you is colour theory. So it's a really exciting fun thing to learn, and it's quite scientific, but in a fun way. It's yeah, it is a good base for you to understand the foundations of colour. And we increase your awareness of structures and guidelines to assist in colour scheme development. So, you know, when you see some colour schemes and they work better than others, it's because that science behind it and that theory is working well. So understanding colour relationships means you can see certain colours work best together. And I'm going to see who might know a little bit more about colour. So in the chat box, I'm just interested in, doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, it's fine. But just in the chat box, would you guys like to put in, what are the primary colours and secondary colours? If you'd like to have a go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, everybody knows. Perfect. Oh, too easy. I should have done a harder one. Thanks. Secondary purple, green, orange. Yep, yep. Ah, fantastic. Oh, that's great. Thanks, guys. You guys know your colours already. Well, there's plenty more where that came from. So, yeah, if you love colour, you'll love our course, because we teach you all about that. So, moving on, I wanted to talk to you today about exterior colours. So, I just thought, we always talk about interiors, but let's have a little chat about exteriors, because they can be a little bit different in terms of what you're working with, obviously outside to inside. So this rule 60-30-10, I'm not sure if anyone's heard it before. If you have, pop a yes in the chat. You may or may not. It's not the be all and end all, but it is certainly a great basis for you know, design rules. And I think for exteriors, it certainly is that. So if you've heard it before, great. If you haven't, it simply means that there's 60% is your dominant colour, your main colour, 30% is your secondary colour, and then 10% is your accent. Now, this can apply with anything. It doesn't have to be exteriors. It can be, you know, interior colours. It could be, you know, you're doing furniture schemes and things like that. So it's just a good little rule to stick to. So the reason why it keeps this facade of an exterior really simple with just 3 colours, because if you start bringing in too many colours, it can start to look like, I'll use the term licorice all sort. You don't want your exterior to look too crazy, if you like. It should be nice and harmonious and cohesive, I think. And when you go around, have a look and see how many people are putting in a 60-30-10 rule. It is interesting to watch. I know up the road there's a house, and it's a really nice house, but they've put too many materials and colours, and it hurts my eyes to watch. And I'm just like, oh, I can't look at that. I just can't look at that as I'm driving up the hill. I think, oh, I need to just pare it down a little bit. Yeah. So let's talk about colour schemes for exteriors. And the first thing I want to talk is, what factors do you consider? So the first factor that you would consider is, well, what are you actually going to be changing? So the whole house, one section, are you just doing out the back, or are you going to be doing a part of it? That's important, because you need to know what you're going to be tying in your colour scheme with. Have you got existing finishes and things like that that you'll have to work with? The second thing is, what type of house is it? Is it brick? Is it weatherboard? Is it a mixture of materials? Are you going to be using Colorbond, iron? There's so many different substrates that you could be applying your paint to. So that's really important, because you have to know the correct type of paint. So understanding materials is really important as well. Another factor is orientation. So is your house facing north, south, east, or west? If your house faces north, you'll receive more natural light and sunshine. than that a house that faces south. So colour can also look very different on the outside. So I would always recommend that you have a sample to check first before you go slapping the paint on. Yeah, then you can't really make a costly mistake. Also, colour does absorb natural light. So if you want to paint your house white, make sure you have some depth to it, because it can look quite washed out and polarizing otherwise. We recommend, Dulux recommends, not me, that you use an LRV of 85 or less. And LRV just simply means light reflectance value. So I won't get into the science of it. We do obviously teach you that, but you can look that up. LRV is the light reflectance value of colour. It's 0 to 100 on the scale. So obviously, if it's 85 and you're talking about whites, then white's a high LRV. So in full sun colours, look at about 30% lighter on an exterior. So it's important to consider the effects of sunlight on your exterior colours, as I just said. And a white wall will always look cooler on south-facing wall, even if it's a warmer white, as it doesn't receive direct sunlight. On a western wall, it receives warmer orange afternoon sun, and the exterior will look warmer. Another thing I just want to point out, which can come up, and we teach you this in colour and design, is that not everybody can just go off and paint whatever you want. You may have to check in with your council. So if you have a heritage overlay in your street, it might be affecting your house exterior paint colours. So you'd have to go through planning for council. And also some states have different colour bond colours for their roofs. So Victoria would be very different to Queensland. So they're just sort of things to note as well. So let's have a little bit of fun here. I've picked 3 exterior colour schemes from Dulux. I've used a colour bond colour with 2 paint colours. And I just wanted to get your feedback on how these paint colours and these exterior palettes feel for you. So I'll start the ball rolling. I think this one's fresh, bright and fun, and it reminds me of summer. What do other people think of this one? Very coastal, agree. Yeah, I love that green turquoise. It just has a twist to it. Beach, yeah, totally. Very modern. Yeah. That's great. Thanks, guys. Yeah, exactly. It's very coastal, isn't it? You feel like you're in, I don't know, Byron or somewhere like that. Bright summer clean. Perfect. All right, let's have a look at the next one. What do you think about this one? I think classic, neutral, quite calm and embracing natural elements. Timeless, elegant, traditional. Yep. Yeah, it certainly has a lot of beautiful character, doesn't it? And it's good. This is a really lovely color palette. It's safe, but it's appropriate. It looks really good and it just blends in lovely to the landscape. Yeah, fantastic. And then the last one. So with this one, when I was talking before about mixing with existing things, look here how, can you see how you've got the bricks? You have to work with that. So that's what I'm talking about, where you've got to work with existing elements. This to me is traditional, but with a bold modern twist. What do you guys see? Stately. Yep. It's very grand, isn't it? Very formal. Yep, masculine. Yeah. That's great. It's interesting just to hear other people's perspectives on these things. Everyone has a different perception. A little industrial, fantastic. So let's move on. I've got some examples here of some student work that I wanted to show you. That these renders here have been done by Chrissy Duffy. She's done a brilliant job here. We give the student a simple line drawing, and then they have to apply their colour palette for a contemporary and a traditional colour scheme on a Victorian terrace home. And Chrissy's done both schemes here, and she's done all that rendering in Photoshop. So we teach you that in your very first subject and hit the ground running. And yeah, so that's something that she's put together, which, yeah, looks fantastic. And then the next slide here is of another student, Sarah. Very different to the last one. You know, she's had a real experiment and play around with her rose pinks from Sherwin-Williams, and then she's got her contemporary scheme as well. So she's included her flooring as well. Is she? Maybe not. But she's got the wrought iron rust colour there as well. Yeah, so they're great pieces of work there those students have done. This is a mood board relating to the same project, and we get you to do two, again, traditional and contemporary, and use InDesign. So InDesign is a program that you'll learn along with Photoshop, and you produce, yeah, some really cool stuff. And the images are sourced from, you know, it might be Pinterest or other areas, and then you are given a template and off you go, and you have to resize the images and come up with something like this, these amazing mood boards. And I think that's my last slide, Charlotte.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks so much, Gabby. That was really insightful, and I love the student work. They're beautiful. So talented.
No
Yeah.
worries. All right,
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
leave
see
it to you now. Thank you.
Thanks so much. So yeah, Gabby just showed us some awesome student work. I hope you liked it. And I can't believe that they produced this in subject one of the course. So you can imagine how much you learn over the course and how much you'll produce. So now that Gabby has given us an overview of the types of jobs you can get in the industry, and you've got a little glimpse of what you do in subject one in colour, I'm going to talk to you a bit more about the interior design industry and also give you some essential information about our courses. So as you can see on the slide here, the interior design industry is booming. As you can see from the numbers here, there is a strong growth over the next few years. And this comes down to things like people working from home and wanting to design their office space and renovate their homes. But also another big growth area for interior design is the aged care sector for, from an interior design and also an interior decoration perspective. And there are other areas like commercial spaces, cafes, restaurants, and bars that are in high demand. Interior designers are highly skilled and sought after professionals. And from the statistics we can see from the National Skills Commission, that suggests a very strong future growth for the industry of about 19.1%. That's not really about, it's exactly. And over this period, it'll reach 27,200 workers by 2026. So ISCD is very proud to say that after opening their doors in 1983, 40 years ago, we've helped over 5,700 alumni to realise their creative potential and become part of this growing industry. Here at ISCD, we are dedicated to delivering quality training and an authentic online experience to help you achieve your goals. So let's talk about our courses. We've got two nationally accredited courses, the Diploma of Interior Design and the Certificate 4 of Interior Decoration, as well as our micro credentials. And these are all 100% online. These courses have been designed and developed with our creative technology collaborators, AIT, the Academy of Interactive Technology, so you can be confident you'll complete the most relevant interior design course in Australia today. We offer highly specialised courses in interior design that are relevant to the industry and make you job ready. And don't be worried, there's no experience necessary. Most people are in the middle of changing their careers from a completely different background. And most of them they're working full time, they've got kids. It's a huge shift, a big interest at the moment. Now, looking at the benefits of online learning, here are some 4 main benefits. So you'll be able to use the latest digital design software to enhance visualization and communication. You'll develop adaptability skills so that you can adopt to new technologies and trends during your career as they emerge. You'll learn to increase efficiency and productivity in your professional practice. And the proficiency in the latest tools will better position you for a wider range of career opportunities, offering you greater career advancement and financial success. Needless to say, online learning is also really flexible and you can study anywhere, anytime. Our most popular course is the Diploma of Interior Design. And this course is 18 months long with a study commitment of about 12 to 15 hours per week. And it's self-paced, so you don't have to be online at a specific time. There are no live webinars. You basically download the course material, there are pre-recorded video recordings, there's links to research, and you work at your own pace. So it's perfect if you're working, if you've got a family, you can study around those commitments. The price is $15,800, which actually includes all the software. In the diploma, I'll go through the software a little bit later on, but there's no extra costs apart from that price there. And there's a variety of different ways you can pay, whether it's upfront, in installments, or we also offer VSL, which is Vocational Student Loan, which means that you just pay for the course after you finish it. The minimal age is 17 years old, and I reiterate, there's no experience necessary. Okay, so you can be coming from a completely different course or career. You can apply anytime. There's a weekly intake. So every Monday, we get a new cohort of students starting. If you are applying for VSL, we just need some academic proof and some photo ID. But other than that, we just request you to write a 300-word design ethos statement, which demonstrates your passion for interior design. And we give you prompts, so it's just a simple Word or PDF document. So now on to the course structure. You'll see that the diploma has 8 subjects, and it's divided into 4 study blocks. Each subject is 9 weeks long, and there's 2 subjects per study block. There's a 2-week break between each study block, so you can finish up those assessments or take a well-deserved holiday with your kids or loved ones. So the course, as I said, is 18 months. Within each subject, there are about 2 to 5 units, and you'll be doing 3 assessments per subject, which is submitted online. That's the basic structure. So remember that even though there's a set structure, within each of the weeks, it's self-paced learning. And I just want to mention also that if you like, you can actually take the first 2 subjects as a micro-credential, as a standalone course. So if you're not ready to dive into the diploma, you can do the first subject, colour and design, or design practice, and that's a 9-week course. Now, the most important question is where to from here? So after you have finished the diploma course, a lot of our graduates have started their own businesses in interior design, such as Chantel Traficante, who owns Benikesh Designs. She works in Australia and she imports Moroccan designs from Morocco, of course. And Cara, who featured in the blog, she did the Cert 4 with us a little while ago, and now she's got her own business with her partner, Kyle, and they're doing really well. our second subject, design practice, will actually teach you how to set up your own business. So you've got all the tools, all the necessary knowledge to start your career. Now, if starting a business is not for you, there's many different avenues. So as Gabby mentioned, you can work for a builder, a supplier, a real estate firm. There are some previous videos on our YouTube channel where you can see past graduates, where they've ended up, what they've been doing. You can see here on the slide, you can become an interior designer, a decorator, work in real estate, or work as a soft furnishing consultant or color consultant. We also have a job board on our website, so you can have a quick look at some of the upcoming jobs that are vacant at the moment. Now, onto our Certificate 4 course. So the main difference is if you're into being a bit more technical, a bit more hands-on, the diploma's for you, but the Certificate 4 is more into decoration. It's about creating a certain mood. It's about the aesthetics of a space. And this course is 9 months long. It's $7,900 and it includes all the software. It's about 1.2K worth of software, so it's really good. In terms of payment options, you can pay up front or via installments, and the intake is week by week. The minimum age is 16 years old, and there are no entry requirements apart from that ethos statement, same as the diploma. Now you'll see the course structure here. It's half the duration of the diploma. So you do 4 subjects over 2 study blocks and there's a 2-week break. As I said, the subjects are 9 weeks long and there are 3 assessments per subject. Okie doke. So when it comes to job outcomes, you can still get employment by doing the Cert 4 in residential styling, real estate styling, soft furnishing, color consulting as well. Now, the next question is computer specifications. So, because the course is really tech focused, there are a couple of things to mention here. So with the Cert 4, there is no specific need on a specific type of computer. But with the diploma, the most important thing to really mention is that you need a fairly high graphics card to allow space for all the software that you'll be downloading. I can get Lee to just pop in the full PDF document for you to view. If you're not sure whether your computer will be compatible, there's a list there of example computers. Whether it's PC or Mac, you can use either. Okie doke. You'll see that another thing that we would recommend in the diploma course is to get an external hard drive, about 2 to 4 terabyte worth. Okie doke. Now onto the software. So I did mention that earlier. So the diploma course includes, you'll see here on the right-hand side, Photoshop, InDesign, SketchUp, Programmer, V-Ray for SketchUp, and AutoCAD. Okay, so you'll get access to those software programs as you do the course, and it's all included in the price. And mind you, it's about $1,700 worth of software. It's quite a bit. So if you were to pay separately the subscriptions, it'd be quite expensive. So that's all included. You don't need to worry about it. One of the software programs I'd like to mention is Programmer. Now this is the ultimate specification for project management, where it's a collaborative or collaboration software for interior designers and architects, and it's really good for collaborating with projects, from scheduling to quotes, so you name it. And there's not a lot of schools that actually offer Programmer as part of the course, so we're one of the only ones. Now, as I mentioned, if you don't want to delve into the full Certificate 4 or the full diploma, you could just step in very slowly, subject by subject. And we've got 2 micro-credentials available on our website, and this is 9 weeks long. And you can take full credit into the Certificate 4 or the diploma if you like it. So if you are starting out, I would probably start with the design and color, subject 1. If you're a designer, you've had a bit of experience and maybe you're interested in starting your own business, I would actually recommend the second subject, design practice. So I'll get Lee to just pop the link to our website on the chat there so you can see the units and see if this is something for you. The cost of that is $1,990, which doesn't include the software. So you'll just need to download InDesign and Photoshop for that particular micro-credential. All right, so ISCD has been around for a fair while, so 40 years, and we've collaborated with a lot of different companies. We've got a lot of industry connections, about 20. And we've gained these partnerships through the excursions that we take students on, the master talks where we invite people from Dulux and Taubmans to give talks about the impact of colour on design, and also through our internship program. So if you are doing the diploma course or if you've just finished, you can actually gain an opportunity working with Bowerbird Interiors, and it's a 4 to 6 week internship. We'll pop that in the live chat on a testimonial that students have done of their experience working with Bowerbird. Now on to our talented and professional educators. So these are all active professionals in the industry with their own successful businesses. They have a deep passion for design, a wealth of first-hand experience, and the willingness to share and impart their knowledge. Their goal as your educators is to create an engaging and enriching study experience and give you all the tools necessary for you to succeed out in the design industry. They are there to support you throughout your student journey through discussion forums and assessment forums as well. And you can also reach out to them directly if you get stuck on anything or if you have any questions. You'll see their businesses just below their names, and you can find them on Instagram to search for more. Okay, so I've presented quite a bit of information there. So if it feels a bit overwhelming, I'm more than happy to have a chat to you over the phone, send you an information pack and a course guide, and go through your study goals as well. I'd love to learn about your passion for interior design. So call me up anytime, Monday to Friday. This is my email address as well, and I'd love to stay in touch. Okay, keep those questions coming. We're almost at the end. So we hold information sessions like this on a regular basis, month to month, and we have different students coming and presenting. We've got master talks as well. So if you're interested to come to the next one, or if you're watching the repeat here or the recording, come along. It's on April the 16th on a Tuesday night. And you've got the QR code there as well. If you've decided this is definitely the right choice for you, you can apply directly through our website, iscd.edu.au. It's an online application form. We'll give you a call and guide you through the enrolment process. You can also use the QR code there to register your interest there. All right, last but not least, we are on social media as well, which I strongly recommend as we regularly post beautiful student works. We have a blog, we've got a newsletter, past recordings are also popped on there. And we're also on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn as well. So yeah, we're everywhere. And I'd love to find out a little bit from you if you have any questions. So we're up to the question time. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Oh, I can see it's very busy. All right, so I'll ask Gabby and Lee to come back on, and we've got quite a bit of time for questions, so we can stay here until for another 20 minutes and answer your questions.
We do have quite a bit of time left, but that's okay. If you're popping questions into the chat now, they're going to get answered. We're just going to have a conversation and go through the ones that have already come up in the live chat, and then we'll get to the ones that are popping up now. So you won't be forgotten. So I might just start with actually a curiosity question for you, Gabby. You showed that beautiful student work. The mood boards were so impressive. How long would it take for a student to create something like that?
Oh, that's a really good question. Okay, so because the student has a template, they've got the outline there ready to go. So that's a loaded question because it depends how fussy you are, really. I mean, you could take a half an hour to an hour, or you could take a long time because you might want to get just that right image. So we always say to our students, you just have to know when it's the right time to finish and leave it. Otherwise, you'll just go on and on for hours because it's such a visual, fun thing to do. You can spend way too many hours doing some of these things. So find where you're happy with and leave it at that. But
I think that theory might also apply to like actually, you know, creating the color scheme for your house and such, right?
absolutely,
Like
yeah,
leave it now, no more. We're done.
exactly.
Okay. Charlotte, a question for you from Kayla. Thank you for your question, Kayla. She asked, who approves the VSL loan?
So there are some eligibility requirements. So you need to be an Australian citizen and not have used up your VSL loan with another course. So generally the VSL covers about $16,000. So it covers the full amount of the course. So if you're not sure, I can send you a link to the website you can just have a look if you fit the bill. So yeah, I'll pop your name down and I can email that to you tomorrow if you like. Is that the question?
When they apply to do the course, does the approval for the VSL come from the government?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
we
it's
help
like
to
sort of like we help, like we move your enrollment towards them and then they okay it, right? And it takes a bit of time, doesn't it, Charlotte?
Yeah, so once what we do once we accept your online application form, then we send you a letter of offer, and it's 48 business hours before the VSL loan can be approved or that you can apply for it. So yeah, if you're thinking, oh, when should I apply for the course? Give us at least a week so that we've got a bit of, leeway time to get that VSL application through. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Charlotte. Another question for Charlotte. This one's from Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline. She asks, if I already have a certificate for an interior decoration, what is the process for RPL?
Can I just ask, did you do the cert with ISCD, or Jacqueline, was it from a different provider? And when did you do it? Another organization. Okay, gotcha. So definitely what we can do, it's called CT form. So it's a credit transfer, not an RPL. RPL is generally for industry experience, and CT or credit transfer is generally just from a course that you've done previously. So I would send through a credit transfer form to you, and then we would, Gabby would kindly map out what subjects would match with what we teach, and we go from there. And we would send you a letter of offer, and you can see whether you're happy with it to proceed. Okay, so I can send that to you tomorrow if you like, and we can. Yeah, you happy? Yeah. Okay, cool. No worries, Jacqueline. Will do.
You're awesome. A question for you, Gabby. If a student is on the fence between whether to do a certificate or to do a diploma, like, why would I do a certificate? Why would I do a diploma? What sort of things could I ask myself to kind of understand which course would be right for me?
Yeah, sure. Well, the good thing about our courses are that the Cert 4 leads you straight to the diploma. So whatever you do in the Cert 4, you will get a credit transfer over to the diploma. So if you're not sure, you can start off with a few options. Like Charlotte said, you can do either a micro credential in colour and design or design practice. So you could just do a standalone 9-week subject. If you think, oh, yeah, I really love this, I'm going to keep going, you can just keep doing the Cert 4. And if you're still happy, then you can continue on and do the diploma. But the difference, I would say, is if you are more interested in styling, decoration, having a little bit of knowledge in how to draw and do some basic SketchUp, then that might be enough for you just to do the Cert 4. And it's a 9-month course, 4 subjects, nice and easy and straightforward. But if you're more interested in the interior design side of it, where you're wanting to get more involved in the planning process, spatial planning, getting into joinery design, kitchens, bathrooms, the whole design process itself, then you'd be better off with the diploma.
Right, yeah. So if you're like interested in actually manipulating the space, like moving a door from one point to another or adding a window or knocking out a wall, that's a bit more the diploma.
Yeah, so things that are affecting the inside of a space, yeah, you need the diploma to do that. Yeah.
Awesome. That's very good. That's clear. Another question for Charlotte. This one's from Simone. Thanks, Simone. She asks, is the Diploma of Interior Design also internationally accredited? I would do the certificate here in Australia, but then return to Europe.
That's a good question, actually. I've had a few questions like that. So it is nationally and internationally accredited, from what I know, Gabby. I'm pretty sure that's right. So you could practice it overseas. I think the metric system is a little bit different depending on which country you're in. Is that right, Gabby? I think we've had a previous question about that.
Yeah, so the training package is through training.gov, which is obviously an Australian platform where our courses are provided. So in terms of it being recognised overseas, yeah, look, your qualification itself would be valid in terms of what you've learned. I don't see that as being a problem. I would do a little bit more research, Simone, just to make sure that you are well informed. Even if you want to go onto the training.gov website and type in the course code for the diploma or for the Cert 4. If you look on our website, we have the course codes for both the qualifications, just so that you're comfortable, you know, with where you're heading. We've got students that have studied from the UK, Eunice Orbit. If you look her up on Instagram, she's doing amazing things, and she runs her practice from the UK. So it's certainly achievable to be studying, whether you're remote or here in Australia. It's great because it's all online. You'll just have that little bit of time difference, obviously, when you're jumping onto things if you are overseas. But it sounds like, Simone, you're actually in Australia. Yeah, okay. I hope that helps.
Thanks, Gabby. Simone added an additional question. Charlotte, this one's for you. Are the fees of about $15,000 the same for foreign citizens?
Yes, so I've had someone from New Zealand as well who was interested in studying with us, and you'd have to just work out the currency exchange rate. So it is in Australian dollars. So if that helps, it'd be $15,800 Australian dollars. Yeah. So whatever that is equivalent.
It's not like a higher price for those who are not from Australia.
Oh, I get you. I think that's in the case of if we have a student visa situation, but we don't offer student visas, and there's no difference in price with domestic versus international students, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's the same price across the board.
Cool. A question that we get a lot when we talk to people who are interested in these courses. This one's for you, Gabby. What kind of support, what kind of contact will I have with my educators while I'm actually taking the course, as it's an online course? Yeah.
Lots.
Great.
Each module you do for your subjects, you have 8 modules, and every module, just about, not every single one, but just about every module, you have activities in all of your modules. So you are getting feedback from your educator all the time when you're submitting your activities, and your peers are also in there as well. So you can be encouraging somebody else or like what someone else has done, which is great, because then it's inspiring you to go, oh yeah, I'm on the right track. Yep, I can see that, you know, so-and-so did that. Oh, yep, I get where I'm going with that. Our assessments have question forums. So every assessment you do has a question forum. So if you get stuck on anything, you just have to put in your little question, and we'll help you with that. And that's great, because then that means your question that you had might have been someone else's question too, and they, you know, wanted to find that out as well. So yeah, there's a lot of interaction, a lot of backwards and forwards with emails. If you have to, you know, talk to us about something in particular that you might want to just chat to us one-on-one, that's okay too. If you need some coaching with some of the SketchUp or the trickier software things, that's okay too. You know, we can book in a one-on-one. So there's plenty of support. We all love what we do, so it's something that we're all very happy to help. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like there's no shortage of support there. That's fantastic. A couple more questions are flowing in now. We've all warmed up. Okay, so Kayla is asking, and this one can be for Gabby or Charlotte. You guys can fight over it, okay? Kayla asks, I'm not sure if you've spoken about this as I joined a bit late, but are the classes more video tutorial learning or more like reading paragraphs / slideshows? Excuse me.
Well, I guess we can both answer. So they're pre-recorded recordings. There's video recordings there. There's reading material. There are no set webinars. You don't have to be online at a specific time, so they're not live. So which makes it easy, so you can do self-paced learning. Did you want to say anything else, Gabby, on that, on the type of?
Yeah. So in addition to that, we have case studies. So everything's set up very structured. So each subject is set up the same, looks the same, so you know what to expect. So every time you do a subject, you'll log on, you'll have a home page, you'll have buttons to click for each module. We've set it up so visually it's beautiful, but also it's practical. There are, as Charlotte said, videos. There's written text, there's case studies, there's a bit of everything, and then your activities as well. So we like to kind of chunk up your learning and then give you a breather and give you an activity so it's not too overwhelming. Yeah.
Thank you very much. A couple more questions. And we're running out of time now, actually, but we're getting there. Sunitha is asking, and Gabby, I'm guessing this would be best for you to answer. Do we get any extra resources for the diploma?
I'm not quite sure what that means.
Extra resources as in, Sunitha, can you explain a little bit what you mean by that? Study resources like a library.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, library, absolutely, 100%. Our library is part of the course, and Patrick, who is our librarian, is awesome. He's also our software guy, so he helps you out if you get stuck or you can't log in or something. So yeah, we've got a library, online library, heaps of resources in that area, and yeah, so that's all in your toolkit. When you start with us, you get what's called a toolkit. Yeah, so you get links to all of that. Hope that helps, Sunita.
Oh, nice. Were there any final questions, guys? We don't have very much time left in our session. Any final little points of curiosity? Oh, no. Maybe we're finished.
Oh my gosh.
I think the live chat portion of our evening may have concluded. Oh, lovely.
Oh, wow, Sunita. Wow. When are you starting?
Yay.
Woohoo.
Lovely. Thanks, guys, for joining us and sharing your evening with us.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks very much, Gabby, for your excellent presentation. I really enjoyed the colour theory. I learned something new today. I always learn something new. And thanks, Lee, for operating the live chat. That was awesome.
No
And thank you,
problem.
everyone. Our next information session will be in mid-April. And as we mentioned, there's a weekly intake. So there's still spaces left for next Monday. We've loved presenting this today. You can watch the recording if you missed anything. If you ran late, not a problem. Alrighty, have a wonderful evening. Enjoy dinner and the rest of your night.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks,
See
Gabby.
See you
Bye,
later.
guys. See you.
Bye, Charlotte.
Bye.